Yo, happy Memorial Day and a little known black history. And hopefully this is not little known. Hopefully everybody will come on here and say that I already knew that. I already knew that. But if you don't know where Memorial Day started, in 1865, you in Charleston, South Carolina, what you had was a Confederate grave site was discovered where a mass grave of black soldiers who had fought on the side of the Union were just buried in a mass grave. These black citizens dug up the mass grave and took 2 weeks to give everybody their own individual grave. And then after that, a parade was held with over 10,000 children leading the way. And that is the beginning of Memorial Day to commemorate these 2,800 soldiers, black men, who died and fought for what some would say is the hope that is America. But that's where I differ a little bit. There is some aspects of it that they did die for the hope of what America could one day be, to which it still has yet to become the land of free, the land of the free, the home of the brave. It has yet to become the land of equality, the land of prosperity for anyone who is willing to put forth the effort, where everyone is given a fair and equal opportunity to prove how unequal they are. It has yet to get over some of its issues of diversity, some of its issues of gender bias, some of its issues of the wealth caste versus the poor caste. We still have a long way to go, but some would say they died for what America could be, the dream of America. I would say that those gentlemen died because they thought that it would be a better opportunity than where they were, than the situation that they were in. As many people after the Civil War went back to Africa, and many stayed, but most stayed in America, it was the staying in America because where else were they going to go in 1865, 1867, 1890? Where else were they going to go where there was freedom for the black man or opportunity for the black man? Because when you look at it through the lens of time, then you see that Africa was still colonized. So there was no home to go to. We weren't going to Asia. We weren't going to any other places because they were colonized. The Caribbeans was colonized. South America was colonized. So many stayed and hoped that America would one day become what the preamblum states that America should be. But knowing that that preamblum at that time frame, in much the same way as people take ancient writings and convert them into modern morality, the writings of the Constitution, the writings of the Declaration of Independence had nothing to do with today's morality, but with the morality of that time frame. So these men fought because they thought that America could be a little bit better. They can get a little bit more better treatment. And they knew that going elsewhere, they weren't going to get any better treatment for the most part. They were just leaving one POW state of colonization to another POW state of colonization. Now, in about 40, 50 years, we did see some mass migrations of people in the Americas, black people in the Americas, go to places like Russia where they were treated better, go to England where they were treated better, and other parts of Europe where they were treated better. And then as free states began to develop in Africa, began to move to those free states as well. Even though Liberia was created as a puppet state. Just look at the capital of Liberia, Monrovia, which was based off of the President Monroe. So it was still a puppet state. But I give honor still to these men who they weren't thinking long term, the ideals of America. They just wanted their family to have a better opportunity than anything that the South could give them. So it was more of a choice of two lesser evils. We're going to choose the least evil thing and hopefully be able to ilk out a bit better life than the life we had in 1864, 1862, 1800, 1785. So that's the true history of Memorial Day. It was started to commemorate those black soldiers who were willing to fight just to get some crumbs. And for black people today, what you should recognize from that is you should have a hell no mentality. meaning that those men sacrifice, not thinking about you in the long run, but their sacrifice became those steps throughout history in order for you to be in the position that you're in now, which is still not the best position, but you're better off than what they were. And if you're not taking advantage of it, then you're being disrespectful to what they did, to what they were willing to give up. And we should have that mentality that we need to make today better for our current generations and for the next generation, and never cease fighting. Never think that it's over. Never think that we have made it, because we have not. So take what they did, take Memorial Day, and use it as something to stand on and say that we will do much better because we have much greater opportunities than what they had at that time frame. So happy Memorial Day. Honor to those men and women who participated in our freedoms, in the steps that we have been able to gain over these 100 plus years, 140, 160 years. Much respect gained to all of them, and we have to continue to fight. The fight is not over. But y'all have a great day, and remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.